Hi everyone, Beth with Pearl Treasure Designs here once again with today's challenge collaboration. We're going right into the crafting today, but we will have more to say about our hosts and co-hosts later on in the video. So let's head to the craft room and see what's cooking. Wow. I did say it was my turn. Do you want a bite?
You're welcome. That's finished, my bite. That's a fish chewing. Listen, chew your food. What do you want? Dear God, man. You want a bite? Yes, please. Okay. You need to eat more of it than I have. Can I not eat my snack in peace? No? You said no? What was that? I want more? Fine. Spoiled. Let me finish chewing. What? You want more? Did you want another piece? Right here? This one? You want more?
DIY number 1. I decided that I would take the lid from this candle holder that my daughter had given me, and I decided to make a raised plate holder. That way I could utilize some of the wood beads I had, and I didn't want to throw it out. It was so pretty. It has a nice little bead design on the top. So here I am using rapid fuse glue to the wood pieces or the wood beads that I got at the dollar store, and placing the feet down so that they have plenty of time to dry. And once I was done that, I did let it dry for about 20 minutes and it was secure in place before I added the spackle. So there you get to see me starting the spackle, and I literally filled the holes in with spackle so that I could sand it down, and hopefully you wouldn't see the evidence of the holes. And I am taking a bit of the little craft stick there, and I am taking off the excess of the spackle before it dries so that it's not so much to sand down later. And you'll get to see a little more of this as it plays out. Now the second part of this was getting all of the sanding done for the pieces that make this the raised plate holder. And so the beads are now dry, the spackle is dry, and I'm sanding down each bead nice and flush so that it will receive the antique wax I'm putting on it. Now the antique wax, I did do the top of this to cause the top to cause that impression or embossing to show up a bit more. And this is with the Waverly Antique Wax. And I did top, bottom, the little pegs and everything on this to give it a nice coat and protect it. And you'll get to see more of this at the final reveal. DIY number 2. Okay, y'all, I found this sign at the dollar store and thought that I would have a redo or a dupe from it. And I can't stand using MDF. It just falls apart, and I just, have something against it. So I did use this as a template and had my husband help me cut some pieces, some wood pieces and some composite pieces for this dupe. So we're going to get right into that so you can see what I did. I took some cardstock and made a template, miniature size for these pumpkins. And I'm going to make this a chic fall pumpkin set. And it will stand on its own. So you'll get to see more of this. I did use plaster, Waverly Plaster chalk paint for all the pieces and added 2 coats, front and back, to each of these pieces, leaving bare spots for the glue to stick to. I did use rapid fuse glue, and it was more of an instant hold. And I did let it dry and clipped it together, and you'll see that later on in the video. I did get this wood from the dollar store when they had the larger pieces in the store. So each store is different, so check yours out. Now that I've got my pieces together, clipped together, I'm taking my miter shears and I'm cutting some tumbling tower blocks for the tops. I did use the sander to sand down any rough edges that were left over, and you'll get to see how that is put together in just a moment. All right, so the sanding is done and it's taken its toll on my arm. The joys of having some issues. And now what I'm doing is I'm taking that rapid fuse glue and I am sticking it to the very top of each of those standing pumpkin pieces. And it was almost an exact fit, so I didn't worry about that because it came out really good. And I didn't have to cut anything or remeasure anything once they were placed. Now y'all, you will get to see more of this at the final reveal. And a big shout out to our wonderful host and co-host today with What Would You Make? Our host Connie from Connie's Woodshop and DIYs. Our host Brenda with Rustic and Lace. And this month's guest host is Monica from UpAll Night. Each one of these ladies has a link found in my description box along with the link to the playlist. So please check out each of their gifted and extremely talented channels. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to each of their channels as well as the playlist participants. It takes a community, guys, to grow our channel, so let's be a blessing so we can continue to be a blessing. Now on to the next DIY. DIY number 3. So I picked up this Farm Fresh Produce duck sign at the dollar store some time ago and decided that I really wanted to place that metal onto a really nice wooden structure. I just dislike MDF so much. So I took this off the MDF base and decided to bring in a piece that I had gotten from Eco Relics, and it was my favorite color, purple, and you'll get to see it in just a second, but you can see how flimsy that MDF is, and it didn't take much strength to break that. So here's that wood piece that I did pick up from Eco Relics. I'm sanding down all the rough edges, and this was just in their, dispose pile, or their leftover pile, I guess, that they sell, and it's dense wood. And I did make the mistake of not drilling my holes first, so I did break off one of the little screws that went flying. So I ended up using some wood screws that I had to paint with Waverly black ink chalk paint to cover the color of the screws. So yeah, a little snafu there, but hey, I like happy mistakes. And you'll get to see how this really came out in just a few minutes once I'm done with the sanding part. And now I am going ahead and I am adding some mineral oil to this wood piece, and you'll get to see the beautiful grains of wood that come through in this. and I gave it a really good coat, probably 2 coats of the mineral oil because it was pretty dry, but you'll get to see the beautiful wood color and everything. I love this piece. Now I'm getting ready to measure the center of the block for the center of the where the screws are going to go. So measuring it in the length and the width, and then the length and the width of the duck screw holes, that gives me a center line, and then I can measure from there where I want this placed so that it will stand and not tip over. You'll get to see more of this at the final reveal. I did want to mention Eco Relics because I absolutely love, love, love the wood that I pick up from this store. Steve, the manager over there, is fantastic. The staff is always so helpful. So if you're in Jacksonville, please be sure to check them out and tell them Beth from Pearl Treasure Design sent you. Here's the contact information for Eco Relics. Please be sure to see Steve, the manager. I hope you enjoy the store as much as I do. The final reveal. Thanks for watching. A big shout out to all my subscribers out there. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. It's free. That helps me out tremendously. And then if you could press that like button and share with all your friends, I would greatly appreciate that. And leave me a comment. It does help the algorithm move these videos forward, and it helps support all of our channels. So go ahead and do that, and we can do it together. Until next time, see you later.